Hello, how are you all? Great to be here in Custy's Music Shop. And as you might be aware, Brian Hughes and myself, Dave Sheridan, we've made a CD together with some of our friends. And as your man says, it's available in all good CD shops like this one. Not too many of them left. But anyway, we are going to play the first track off that CD for you if you'd like to have a listen to it. And we're going to start as a tune called An Buachail Drocha, which is, again, we talked about it earlier. It was the name of a CD by Joe Ryan. And so we learnt this from the sessions. And we followed with, it was The Maids in the Meadow, I think is the second one. The Maids in the Meadow is the second one. Again, a good session tune. And then the last one is The Wheels of the World. So we'll try these three jigs anyway. And hopefully we're in tune and all that kind of stuff.
Close enough.
Hopefully.
Lovely.
That's beautiful.
Lovely.
It's
It reminds me of the Christmas cakes my mother used to make, and she put a half a bottle of poachine, and they were so rich. But that music is so beautifully rich.
Thanks very much. Thanks
kind of a real viscous kind of a feel to it, you know.
Yeah, there is. We kind of felt that first day in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah, you were talking. Okay, you're playing down. You're playing in C, obviously.
Yes,
okay.
exactly. And it was.
And what's the appeal of that to you?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when you have the Rolls Royce and then you've got your little Ferrari for zipping around. You know, you're up in concert pitch or E flat is like the Ferrari, you can zip around fairly easily, but then you kind of settle back into the comfort of the old Bentley or the Rolls Royce. There's just a bit more luxuriousness about it. Well, in the fiddle, you see, you can't play that fast. You see, when you tune down the strings, because the action isn't as fast.
Sure.
So it just means you have to take everything down slightly, and there is just you get a different kind of a sound coming out. It's just a bit more. I don't know what it is. It's just a bit more mellow. There's a bit more mellow.
There is, and even as listening to this now, there's a real driocht coming out of it. It really kind of.
One of the things we were kind of saying, like, this is not going to be an album like to get everybody up and dancing and jump around the place. Well, we hope to do as well. But it's kind of one of these things that you have one of those recliner chairs and you get the sleeve notes and you just sit back and listen to it. And it's just kind of a really relaxing kind of music.
Is that like Nihog and Keel Ravish? Like, and eventually the age has come and you.
Well, I think so.
Yeah. I've read about that. It's overrated sometimes, but maybe so. Yeah.
But it was funny before you came in today. Joan Hanrahan was in. Joan fiddle player from Lizzie Casey, and she's the presenter on Clare FM.
Yes,
and she was singing singing volumes about this album.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I said, "Jeez, Joe, what do you like about it?" She said, "They've matured." Now, whether that's an indictment or praise.
Was that the visuals or the sound?
Yeah, it could be a reflection on our previous antics in our younger lives as well.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of albums behind you now, as individuals as playing with groups. I know the Raw Bear was your last one with Connell and the lads.
Yes, exactly. They were the last two. Completely different, you know, they were completely different. And then, well, sure, Brian has been recording for a long time. He's got many CDs.
Stuff as well, yeah. It would have been a lot faster than we're playing now, like obviously, and more live.
But I think the actual tuning of the instruments kind of aids that. Now, we haven't tried it out with E-flat pipes and tune the fiddle up. Maybe we could turn into these demons who, Jesus, keep going really, really fast. You know.
Yeah, you can get rid of that short then and get a singlet or something.
Exactly. So we haven't experimented with that.
Well, I'm glad Metallic isn't here today because his music is amazing. Now, just a bit about yourself, Dave. Like, your history of music, you come from a place that wouldn't have been renowned.
Not really, no. I mean, like, it's a village called Tubber, and we were lucky enough that a primary school teacher brought in some tin whistles for us to learn, and we didn't. There was a bit of music, but not a whole pile at the time. So what we did was we took off from there, school marching band, and next thing was we were playing different instruments, and we formed a Cayley band, and I discovered a teacher called Dan Cleary. He used to play with a band called the Ballinamere Cayley Band back in the 50s and 60s. Okay. And and he actually won three All-Irelands in a row on the pipes in the early 50s.
On the uilleann pipes?
Uilleann pipes.
My God.
And gave up after winning the third one and never played him again.
Wow.
But then I see that he got joint first place in the senior fiddle in 1950 something with Paddy Kenny.
Oh wow!
They shared first prize. Dan Cleary.
Dan Cleary.
You know, his name wouldn't be as well known. Obviously in the Midlands, people knew Dan Cleary as the fiddle teacher, great fiddle teacher. And he also taught pipes. I mean, like, there are other people, Michael Cooney, a few others would give him credit. They'll give him credit for teaching as well.
Right.
You know, so he was a great man. There's no doubt about it. But he took us on as a Cayley band and took me on as a fiddle student, and we did fairly well. All of those kids that were in the primary school, we stuck together and formed a Cayley band, and we did fairly well, you know, in the flas and the competitions. So we got a love for it then, and Tubber, you know, was fairly well known then. It's between Clara and Mold, so it's on the Westmeath Offaly border.
And would a lot of your contemporaries then have continued playing?
We have a few of them that I would meet now, not all of them, but I would still. A good friend of mine that we played for years is a man called Camillus Heine, and he's now playing. I know he's playing with the Fury Brothers now at this stage. He's playing the accordion with them at the minute. Sure. But he has kept it up, and we do see and hear of various other people who played in the Cayley band over the years. You know, we still meet them and see them.
Lovely.
You know, maybe not as involved as I kind of remained involved with all the festivals and fhas and all that sort of stuff. But they still play, and my sister still play. You know, so
Lovely.
so it's still there.
My God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, when I look at the album title, however long the day in the Irish, kind of the Adhan tagann and tráthnóna, and that's very kind of I suppose it fits the narrative of what actually happened over the last 2 years, and the fact that this should have been out 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right.
So when was it right, Brian? When was it right? It was never right during the 2 years, but you had attempts to do it, did you?
We did, but like everyone, the COVID, unfortunately, just knocked the whole music world back that couple of years. Really, I suppose everything is 2 years behind where it would have been originally planned for everybody.
Sure.
So it was an impossible time to get anything done, really.
Yeah.
So we kind of just had to leave it. So leave it sit and
just leave it sit. That's right.
And
for the
now,
time being.
thank God, it seemed to be better.
Yeah.
So we had a chance to finish it and release it, like, and stuff, you know. So. Yeah.
Okay, and the first release, what have you planned?
We are going to release it at the Carlow Fla, actually on the 8th of April. That's next Friday, actually.
My God,
is our
it's very
first official
early.
release.
Yeah.
The Carlow Fla has been held in Loughlin Bridge in Carlow, and so we're going to do our first launch. Our first launch will be there, okay, and then we're following up with a launch the following week in Athy, or 2 weeks later in Athy.
Yeah, in the library
in
there,
April the
23rd, is it?
23rd, I think, in the library in Athy. And then we're going to Miltown Malbay, we're hitting Tubbercurry, Drumshambo.
Oh, lovely.
We're in Allihies in June as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Allihies, lovely Beara country.
Yeah, down with
Dwyer country.
Festival. Yeah.
Yeah, South Sligo and
Yeah.
yeah,
So the idea is that we'll
Mooney.
we'll just launch it. Just keep playing. It's
yeah.
like a CD. As you know yourself, a traditional music CD is not going to make us millionaires, but it's a kind of a calling card, and
Right.
it gets us into playing with lovely people and in lovely places. And you know, so we have a summer ahead of us of playing in brilliant places and meeting lots of musicians.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll sell a few CDs as well.
Yeah.
I mean, all we're interested in is getting back what we spent on it.
I know, and
because,
hopefully that'll happen.
it's not our main income for either of us.
Yeah.
So it's really for good fun. And like as the album said, like we were saying, we had saying like however long the evening will come. You know, that shannuckle there. And so we love just sitting down playing tunes after a day's work, because Brian works in the fire service. I'm a primary school teacher, and it's lovely just meet at night time and just play a few tunes.
Yeah.
Relax.
And would you have any ideas of advancing beyond the confines of the country and heading abroad with this? Because it is a form of music that I'm just thinking as a pure listener now, that this kind of music played in that key would have a serious appeal to people who don't know much about Irish music.
But it seems to have, and already, like you say, the reviews coming back are very kind, and any of the radio presenters seem to love it, like, you know. And so I know Brittany love this kind of stuff, you know. And there's many places. John,
well, I'm hoping to reconnect with Nicola Keminar, who was on that first Fiv Law album.
Sure.
And hopefully we might, you know, at some stage reconnect and maybe to play some music over in Brittany would be lovely, you know, because they would be very open, I think.
Yeah,
to
I
that
know,
music
sure.
as well.
Even America.
America,
Yeah.
Brittany, the summer school or the winter school over in Brittany, as they call it, I'd be over and back to that now, and I know the interest in the piping in particular in Brittany is huge, like, you know, I love the pipes over there.
And then it's a matter of trying to fit it in around work. That's the trouble, you see, in that a lot of the good tours or gigs that you might get, ordinary bread and butter work sometimes gets in the way. You know, you
It
can't
does,
just
right. Well, it's reason enough to take a sabbatical from that bread and butter work.
Yeah. Maybe when we're talking about maturity, maybe I might just retire altogether.
Yeah, get out there and usurp Martin Hayes, okay, and just invade the whole...
Not just yet.
But I think this type of music that we're playing makes it very attractive, doesn't it? It's so comfortable to play.
It is comfortable, yeah.
It's just there's no stress in it.
No.
There's no stress in the playing or anything to do with it. It's lovely. And I suppose particularly in the piping world, the flat sets, they're completely different set to play as well, and different frame of mind really, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
It's lovely.
Yeah, just seeing you play right in the middle of it, okay, and you're lost in your music, but there's an ease kind of exuding out of the two of you when you play this form of music.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And I mean, it's not something that you can plan for. I mean, the first time you came in the kitchen, that's what surprised me the most, was that suddenly it was just everything was kind of shoulders down and just let it come out, like, you know. So that was, And we kind of knew from that first night that there's definitely something here, something that I don't think I had really experienced much beforehand.
Yeah.
Because like the raw bar is, it's a small bit more snappier and faster, and it's up tempo, and it's brilliant as well. Like the likes of Benny or Connell or Cullum and all these. I mean, it's fantastic. And before that again, I would have played more up tempo, but this was kind of just it was lovely.
Yeah.
And likewise, all my whistle recordings beforehand, they'd be all very up tempo and which whistle. It's great to be doing that on the whistle too, like. But this was a lovely. When I got so interested in flat playing, I don't really ever pick up the concert pitch set now at all. I just always played in the flat key. Like,
it's infective.
It's a different world, It's a different world.
Do we bring each other down?
Maybe that's it. For maturing together.
Well done, Jonah Henry. Lads, gur mil maith go as velling and so, okay, agus ganari gigel leis an let a quick say here. Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.